This is the Impact Dynamics podcast.
I'm Andy Little.
I'm Rusty.
And we talk about rifles, shooting, and PRS.
And tonight we're talking about IPRF, MPBR, IPRC, and things. Match director, mate. Match director. Hello, Andy.
Hooray!
Hooray! Hope that's enough.
We need your vote.
Now we've caught up to where we were on the podcast.
All right, go on back.
Roll the outro. Alrighty, here we are back for another episode of the Impact Dynamics podcast. Andy, how are you, sir?
I'm good. We were so ready for that.
Yeah, we were so ready for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Spot on.
Josh wasn't.
Nope.
But we were ready. Hello, Josh.
How are we?
More ready than you are, apparently.
It's been a busy night.
It has been a busy
We've
night.
been here for like half an hour.
Yeah, we were busy. We were live on TikTok for a while.
right.
We were busy.
Yeah.
How's your week been and 2 weeks been, Andy? It's
Good.
otherwise called a fortnight. So
Fortnite. Yeah. I heard there's a game or something called Fortnite.
Speaking of Fortnite, we are streaming on Twitch tonight
Twitch.
for the first time. So hello. Are they called Twitchers or Twatchers? No, that
Twitchy
is
people. Twatches.
Hello. Twitcherifics. Twitch. I don't know. Hello.
Who knows?
If you're on Twitch, hello. There you go.
All right.
Good. So good fortnight?
Yeah, it has been a good fortnight. Yeah, it's been a busy one. Last
Excellent.
weekend was good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're training. How did that go? Did you teach anyone anything? Did you learn anything yourself?
I learned as much as I taught. Let's put it that way.
So it was a pretty boring weekend.
Yeah. Pretty much I figured out what I was doing wrong
Okay.
as I was teaching people how to do stuff wrong.
Okay. Great. So give us a bit more of a breakdown. That thing sold out super
It did.
quick.
I think in total we had about 17 or 18
okay.
people. And we'd sort of allowed for 15. Had a couple of extras, which is, no problems at all. There were three of us sort of running the training. Mm-hmm. And it worked really well. So we had
Who was running the training? You, Plushy,
and Ben K.
Kennedy.
Yep,
Yeah, sweet.
Yep. So and those guys helped out. Awesome. They actually Ben and
In fact,
Plushy
they did all the work. And
did a lot of it, and it was
you
really
sat
good.
back and like rubbed your beard for a while.
That's right. Yes. I was learning, so.
Oh, someone's got to teach you.
But yeah, I mean, we had
Can't be me.
about 17 or 18 people. We sort of broke up into a couple of groups.
Yes. How did you decide which groups to, or is that giving too much of the secret away and people there will feel terrible because the way you did it?
No,
you
not
can
at
tell.
all.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we
Was it based on height? Were you heightist?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So sometimes we sort of like put the plan, the lesson sort of, criteria based towards a beginner shooter.
Yep.
And taught them like, basic operations of a rifle, the scope, and then sort of push past into fundamentals, and then pretty much straight into barricade stuff because, people want to like shoot barricades and have fun and sort of, and I think everyone in the training was a member, like a club member as well. So everyone had their own rifles, everyone could shoot. So we decided to sort of skip over some of the real basic stuff and sort of get into
Up it a bit.
fundamental stage barricades and stage prep sort of things. So
Yeah, sweet.
no, that was pretty good. But we did split into a couple of little groups. There were a few guys who needed to bore sight and zero. And then there was the main group who had already sorted all that sort of stuff out.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Ben and Plushy sort of took that main group and sort of ran with that crowd. And I took the guys who needed to bore sight and zero through the basics of doing that.
Because based on that video you did a while ago, Box to 1000, you were very good at bore sighting.
I was solid.
You had a lot of experience, I guess.
We were all over it. Yeah. I mean, they blew through 200 rounds to get a zero, but that's all right.
Each? 200 each?
Yeah, that's it. No, it worked out well. And it was just, for those guys, I believe we got good feedback. Well, I got good feedback because like getting a new scope and putting it on a rifle and then bore sighting can be a little bit tricky sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
But being able to have like myself on binoculars and help out there and then explain parallax and eye relief and the diopter settings and how scopes function, I think they came away with some good pointers.
Very good. Glad to hear it. Training is always useful. I see recently that the Eagle Park guys put up a training course and that filled up super quickly. So there's no surprise at all that that sort of is happening. Obviously, in the last 2 2 weeks. The PRS season for the year has been announced. Has that been since last? I just lose track of time.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it has been, and then the first match has gone up, and that is filled very filled. I think there's about 10 spots left after about an hour and a half.
Wow.
And then the members sort of picked up most. I think there was 2 when it went public.
Oh wow.
And then that 2 or 3 minutes, and it was full.
So I've left it too late.
You have left it too late, Andy. Yep.
Oh well.
Sorry. But that's all right. There will be more matches. The next one will be the Mildura match, which, fingers crossed. You're bloody right, Andy, because this is the one.
Oh my god,
this is the one that. So Ben,
this
Jarrett,
is going to be an amazing.
If this happens,
if
we can pull off a Mildura, a Burris Cold still open.
No excuses. You've had 3 years to prep this. Come on.
Well, funny you mention that because Ben Jarrett was the match director for the last 2. And, rightly so. He is like, no, not dealing with this again. I'm just always the bridesmaid.
Yep.
Actually, it wasn't that big a dummy spit. It was more, I'm going to be overseas, so I won't be around to be able to help out. I'm sorry. But let's go with the first story.
Yeah.
So
always the bridesmaid.
When is that? In about 3 weeks, Josh, you and I are going on a holiday.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
You say holiday.
I do. I lie, but it's a lie.
It's work.
We're going to go away. We're going to close up the shop on a Saturday afternoon. We're going to go up to Ben's place, up in Western New South Wales, and we're going to spend the night there chatting away when we get there. And then the next day we're going shooting, and we're going to shoot through his course of fire, his plan, and get to understand what he's actually doing and all that sort of gear, with the intention that I am then going to deploy his course of fire for the match. So I guess I'm the match director on the day. He's written the course of fire, but I've done that previously, but this time we're actually going to spend a full day going through it, getting to know it, getting to understand. So rather than sort of putting together someone else's course of fire, I'm going to really be able to take ownership of it, get to know it.
Because you've been in that position before where you've had a match book and the barricades and sort of had to work out and figure out the blanks. And
it doesn't do justice to what the thing was written. So
for sure.
This way there's a really good handover. We get to hang out with Ben, which is always a privilege.
So I guess I can't really come along and
you cannot
practice.
You cannot. No. No, not in the slightest. So Josh will be coming along to film some of it. So we'll make a video out of it.
Yeah, nice one.
But and then also we'll film some stuff. So I've got a reference for how when we get to Mildura.
Yeah, for sure.
We might even drop in Mildura on the way home and just sort of eyeball it, putting it in the location. So that'll be good. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we're gonna hopefully if something happens to him, and he's around, he will come along. But we're gonna work on worst case scenario where he can't be there.
Yeah. Yep.
So that will be good. And then, there's some other events announced, and there's some other plans in the works, and hopefully in the next month or so we should have the full season rolled out. Which is good. Some new states come on board. There's unfortunately some states that just haven't got the opportunity to be able to run this year because of various challenges that Rangers experience from time to time, unfortunately. But hopefully, or give it some time, things will be back to where they should be.
Yeah, so awesome. Yeah,
that would be good.
I've definitely got my eye on a few matches. Yeah. So,
what are you planning on shooting? Let's ask you that.
I suppose. Yeah, I mean,
apart from Paulie,
I have gotten into Monado. So
you did get into Monado. Yes,
spitball on there before, trying to build up the hype.
Now you can't press that once. It's got to be like that. That's where the hype comes from.
Yeah, that's it.
And for everyone watching, just thought you touched an iPad.
No, I did not touch an iPad. I pressed this button.
It's a hype button.
You hear that?
Come on, guys, get with it.
Ben, the question there, one IPRS in Queensland because the range that we would normally run on is not able to function at the moment. If that changes, that will definitely change. But that's the reason. That's they're in a situation where they can't run, and if that gets changed soon, I don't think it will. But if it gets changed soon, mate, we would definitely throw one in.
Yep.
But yeah, that is the problem at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to get into. Well, I'm into Monado.
Yes, you are.
And it would make it'd be silly if I didn't really home
I don't
range.
think you should. You quit. Give up one of these guys wants to shoot it, so give up your spot to some of the random. Someone here. Who wants to shoot Monado that didn't get in? Leave your comment, and I will try and guilt Andy by the end of the show to give you his spot. Fully paid.
Not going to happen.
And gun and ammo.
That'd be a pretty good deal for him, though.
It would be a really good deal, and you'd be a really nice bloke, and you'd be really well respected.
Swap rifles with them.
swap rifles with him.
Yeah. So we both shoot, but we swap rifles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Wellesley has asked
Anyway.
someone has asked here. I'm going to guess that might be a button pusher has chosen that. So
I'm too busy pushing buttons.
pushing buttons that start with pick me. So Andy, I'm going to try and guilt you into giving up your spot at the Monado Meltdown by the end of the show. It's not going to work. I
think so.
suspect. But anyway, sorry, you were trying to get into Monado. You did that.
In
Give us the next
Monado,
match.
yes, Mildura is definitely on the cards.
Yep.
I'm super keen for that.
Makes sense.
I'm hoping to get to Little River.
Okay. Yep.
I think Little River's a really nice place to shoot. It's got,
With that amazing, beautiful wind.
well, wind can be challenging, but it's also
Don't.
challenging.
Okay, I see where you went there. Yeah, I see where you went there.
Yeah, but it's a good place to learn your skills in wind reading.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but you got the range there with the mountain in the background. It's just a really cool vibe.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure on bucking yet. Depends on a few other work things, but
Sure. Yeah.
we'll see how we go. But
Okay.
at least those three.
At least those three.
Mm.
That's a good three. That's a good three to go with. Very good.
That's it.
Nice. What else can I tell you? Plushie. So Plushie.
This guy again.
Plushie made a comment the other day. He sent me a message because we'd put up on TikTok or Insta a thing of him shooting.
Yep.
And he's like, "This is great. It's like I've got my own personal videographer.
Yep.
That I can watch back and improve."
Dude.
No.
No. Watch
Okay.
back and improve.
Yeah.
We're gonna rip on you.
But the I guess the point I wanted to draw out of that was that someone who's quite an accomplished shooter, quite a good shooter,
Yes.
actually legitimately gets value out of watching their own videos back because it is useful. I would just wanted to use that as a point to say highly encourage, like video yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you don't have to post them to TikTok. You probably won't. They'll get banned. That's what happens to us.
Yep.
But you don't have to put them anywhere or anything along those lines. But to be able to watch them back and actually get some feedback or look at yourself and do that. I mean, we watched videos of you shooting tonight.
Yes.
Because we're super vain. And what was that laugh for, Josh?
Nothing at all.
You chose them. And you really identified trigger. Trigger needs some attention.
Yes, yeah. My trigger pull's definitely glitchy. What was the word? What was the word?
Crap, I think the word was.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I just free recoil it and it just does what it does. It's a heavy rifle. So
Yeah. But no, anyway, it's really useful to be able to go back and we've got some videos coming where we do actually review ourselves shooting and perhaps some other people. And it is, we're doing that for fun and for, hopefully your enjoyment, but also hopefully you learn from what we're seeing from our shooting and we highly encourage you to, the listeners, viewers, to video yourself and watch it back is an incredible way to see how you can improve, especially in slow motion. Yeah,
I mean, every now and then I'll hand the RO or someone around my phone and I'll say, "Here, film this." And
I usually just order pizza if you do that.
We can do that if you like.
You heard that, Josh? That's a clip.
Yeah,
done.
Put that on TikTok so I can reference that anytime.
It's just the once off though. Once off, yeah.
No,
cap of $50.
Edit that. Edit that. Right. Yes.
But yeah, I'll often give my phone to someone and say, "Hey, can you film me with this?" And when I do look back, definitely you pick up things where you're like, why did I do that? And like just a simple thing, and I've done it on multiple stages. I remember there was the stage with the tripod, and I think we may have reviewed this one. But there was a tripod, first position sitting, second position kneeling.
Yep.
And
I'll let that one go. Carry on.
First position, almost shitting. Yeah, I was almost shitting myself. But first position sitting, second position kneeling.
Yep.
And I take the rifle off the tripod to adjust the tripod, and then I put it back on because I realised the sitting and the kneeling can be done at the same height.
Yes.
And it's just, next time you improve on that, and you're like,
or you work out what you've forgotten. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, that's it.
Very good. Speaking of forgotten, Shane reached out to us this week about
Shane.
something we said in the last show, something I said particularly. And I thought I'd better provide clarification because I watched it back and maybe it was a little unclear. I thought it was clear that we had we had a lot more. We had rum last week.
Oof.
That's why.
That mixer you made up.
That's true. I want to clarify. We were talking about like cheek height and getting getting your scope as low as you possibly can, and why these weren't super important or was important. That was all within the context of long range rifle and long range shooting and using data, to be able to sort of adjust and stuff like that. There is an element where if you were trying to set up a rifle for hunting and you're using the maximum point blank range thought, you will see some benefit of having your scope low. Right. So within that context, now I still will suggest that the comfort with the cheek is more important than the height of the scope. But when you're trying to get your largest window of maximum point blank range, which is where your bullet will not go outside of a given drop either above or below your where your scope's looking, the closer you bring that scope down, the less angle you induce, there is a better result.
Yep.
That is super true, absolutely. And we didn't touch on that. And just to clarify for anyone who perhaps misunderstood that or we didn't make it clear, which is probably more likely we didn't make it clear. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you for Shane for reaching out and ensuring that that data was correct. But in the long range side of things, it doesn't matter. And the question that we were asked that prompted it was very much within that world.
Yep.
No,
so
very good. A little bit of a follow-up clarification.
Yeah, no, very good. That reminds me of a question I had during the training was people.
This is part of our new segment called Questions You Didn't Ask Us, where we answer questions that people didn't actually ask us.
Yes, it's really my own questions.
Yeah, that's right. So here we go.
But I was asked on a rifle. So we're going to go towards like a PRS setup rifle.
Yep.
If they were to use that rifle hunting, should they have a 100 meter or a 200 meter zero? Now I said typically in the PRS and our sort of stuff,
yes,
we all zero our rifles at 100 meters.
Yes, this is common. Yes.
Yeah, and they said, but what if you want to go hunting with it? Like a 200 meter zero would be better, wouldn't it? Because then you have almost like what you're saying with that point blank range. You're allowing for that bullet drop for further distance, so you can just hold on target. And I said, well, if you've zeroed at 100 and you know your data and you want to go out hunting and have a 200 meter zero, just wind that turret to your 200 meter and you've effectively now got a 200 meter zero. That's easy as. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do
you
that.
haven't got a 200 meter zero, but your gun is shooting at 200 meters.
That's it.
Yeah. At that point in time. Yeah. If you're not changing it. Yeah.
So that's where I feel like in our sport and our sort of realm of PRS, like a lot of our centerfires are 0 at 100 and typically rimfires are at 50.
That's not uncommon at all.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Something
very
new.
good. There you are. Excellent. I have next up written on the list because I realised that whiteboards are useful to be able to write on.
You haven't tried tattoos?
You're correct. I haven't tried tattoos.
I
pierced my ear with a compass once.
That's pretty close to it.
Is that close?
Yeah, it's close.
Okay. I mean, if I got a pen and broke down the ink, I could probably give myself a tattoo with a compass.
Yeah, well, just to take notes, I find that
next fortnight, stay tuned.
We're getting notes with tattoos.
With tattoos. Look forward to it. Pencil that in, Josh. Oh, no, actually, don't use a pencil because the ink won't last. Write that down. Write that down. You bought some stuff. Is that what we're covering? I don't remember what podcast, like it's written down podcast. I don't remember what it is.
I can't read your writing.
Just to remind you, we're currently doing a podcast.
No, I got that bit. That's why I'm so confused by it being written on there. Josh, start the podcast. That's what we missed.
Was I meant to press record?
I thought this was like an audio thing only.
All right, Andy, we've done that joke. Go on with it. What, you bought some stuff? What have you got?
I bought some stuff. So I
got a bushing.
A bushing.
Was your last one broke?
No, I just wanted to try up some different sizes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's very hard.
Tell us, for those listening and perhaps those who are watching but don't know what a bushing is in the context of what you're talking about, tell them all about your bush. What?
So during the reloading process, I use a die that has an internal bushing, and these bushings come in different sizes, and it's to control your neck tension on your projectile.
So it's a small, for those who are perhaps not very mechanically minded like me, a bush is a small, well, in this instance, the bush is a round,
it's like a
round
cylinder.
metal cylinder thing,
Yep.
and you can use this one, you will resize.
Josh will put up a photo for you in post.
Will he? There you go. Excellent.
Or Remy.
Or not. Someone.
If you keep talking about it for a bit, I can put one up now.
We will. So these are the little bushings, and so they will adjust the neck. And so the idea of having a changeable one in a die means that you can adjust how tight that neck gets or how tight it doesn't get.
Yeah, that's it.
And the other thing is they're quite amusing on a podcast because you could spin it across the podcast bench and try and flick the other person with it.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's not gone well. I hit the hype button.
Yeet.
It's all right. I don't need that one.
Worked out, don't need it.
That's the wrong size.
So what did you get? You got a point
270.
270. Now
that is-
yeah, correct. We're about to go to the same place. You talk about it because you just bought it. I'm going to go pick it up.
So 0.27 is the measurement, and that does not refer to the size of the 270 Winchester caliber. That is the 0.27 of an inch internal diameter of the bushing, which squashes down the neck. Jeez.
I got back to my chair with it and I dropped it when I put my headphones on.
So that is the internal diameter. Now, if you take in consideration your wall thickness of your neck, then the internal diameter I am looking for is about the 2.6. Oh, geez, I should know this.
You should, but you don't. So let's move on.
2.4 something, 2.42 or something to allow for a 6mm projectile.
As in a 243.
That's the one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but the inside of that,
The inside of the case.
the inside of the case was going to be like 241.5, something like that. 2415. 0.2415. That's what I'm
Got a
going
couple
for.
of too many dimensions there. Too many decimal places.
Smaller than 243.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. So you can use these to crush down the that's the right word. Press down the external diameter. There we go. One's on screen now. That's it.
on.
That's what they are. So they're gone. And so,
It has been up for a bit.
okay, good. Yeah. So that's what you got. So
Yeah.
bushings. All right.
So I've dropped down 0.01.
0.01. 0.001.
0.001, yes.
Yep.
Because I found I'm still using the expandable in my die.
Yes.
And I found every now and then I'll get a case that does go over that expander and expand back out, but some cases do not. So I've got a variance in my wall thicknesses.
Okay. Yep.
So by dropping it down that 0.001, I'm hoping that every case will now slide over that expander and just push it out so it's consistent, essentially. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Do you?
Nice.
I have heard of people not using expandables or expanders as part of their process and only use a bushing.
Yes.
But I feel like the danger with that is if you do have variable neck thicknesses, then you're essentially increasing variance in neck tension.
I think you find the guys who don't look as a general, often the guys who don't use that expandable have neck turned their cases, so they're very consistent with that, and maybe use a mandrel on that. So that is probably more likely that then they don't use the expandable on the inside.
Yep.
So they work with the inside as it is, and then adjust it from the outside.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I did think of going down the option of getting a separate die with a not a mandrel, expander.
Yeah, a decapping die. Is that what we're talking about?
No. So you can size it with this, and then you run it into another die just with
the internal balls.
Yeah.
Ball. Yeah.
But essentially, I didn't want to add another process of handling brass and another die, so I thought I'll just keep using.
Too lazy.
Yeah.
Too lazy for that.
That's it.
Fair enough. And you got something else there.
Got something else. Yeah.
You've got a cheek riser, cheek rest.
Cheek rest.
Yep.
Wee bad cheek rest, which I've just realised will fit my Remington MDT chassis. So I'll hold on to it.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice, mate. Excellent.
Bit of.
Oh, you bought it for your XLR, but it didn't quite fit. But these certainly make it a little bit more comfy, just particularly on a cold steel or aluminium chassis.
Well, yeah, I thought, scruffing up the beard a bit more would go down well too. You can have a nap on it.
Actually quite comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah. All right. Good. Hey, there's a match on this weekend in Adelaide that neither of us are shooting.
Oh,
you brought it up.
Oh, I was like, oh shit, what match?
Yeah. The meltdown's been brought forward.
Yeah.
hope you're available. Yeah, but you brought it up, and then you're like, I'm like, are you shooting it? He's like, no, I'm not shooting it. So
Have fun, guys.
But we wrote it down. But you wanted to talk about it. This is the rimfire one. This is more of a combination IPSC PRS combo.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
called the Rimfire Practical Challenge, I believe.
Practical rimfire challenge, I think.
Practical Rimfire Challenge. Yeah, same.
Words.
Yeah, it's just
Whatever.
whatever.
It's only a podcast.
Yeah.
We only talk.
That's so I was hoping to get there to shoot it. So it's ran in the afternoon/evening.
Yeah, that's right.
They have multiple stages where some might even, if it gets dark enough, some will be at nighttime. Some of them have forward movement. So it is sort of like the IPSC, and it's really good fun. But unfortunately, I can't make this one.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
if you're in Adelaide, go check it out.
Yeah, if you're in Adelaide,
it's it's a different feel. Definitely a different feel to a PRS type, NRL type 22 shoot.
That's it.
Yeah, by a long way.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, very good. Well, the other big news that is murmuring about is the IPRF, and I thought that we're probably in a position now to start delving into it a little bit further. So for those who have been following it, don't know anything about it, all that sort of thing, this is the International Precision Rifle Federation. So this is the working towards being the sort of the international body with representation of, I think, somewhere in the vicinity of 50-ish countries now, which is awesome. And so it has been, obviously with COVID, it's been delays and pushback and all this sort of gear. It's been challenged to make something happen at that international level. But it's starting to look good. Yep. And so it was put out, there was advertised it was going to be in Hungary in August, but there was some real challenges with Hungary in terms of the time frame and the COVID factor and that affecting funding for it. And there's quite a number of things. And so it has been moved to France as of this week.
Oh, there you go.
And so it's going to be held in France. So I guess for a lot of people in Europe, it's not that big a deal. It's sort of jumping over a couple of countries to the left or right, depending where you live. And then for everyone who's further away, well, France is probably easier to get to than Hungary for many, or about the same. So it's not, I guess, not a big deal. Apparently the facilities in France are going to be excellent. It's on a military base.
Sweet.
Or military range at least. So it's going to be really, really exciting to see. But it is still very tentative because of I mean, I've travelled recently internationally and it's fine, but there are, I copped COVID and a lot of people were copped COVID. So it is certainly, let's say, challenging at the moment to do a lot of that. So yeah, there is a bit. So in terms of how it affects us over here in Australia, so there are 4 or 5 of us working on setting up. This is going to be a very, very different organisation to what PRS is, okay? So the idea is that it'll become like a whatever body that it needs to, the entity that it needs to become, will have members, and those members will vote who sits on that thing. So while we, involved with a few other guys to just get that over the line to be set up, as soon as that's set up, we all bail in a polite way, and to actually allow those guys who want to pursue this and want to develop it further. I'm not saying that couldn't be some of us that are involved now, but we're really there to set it up. But of course, now we come against this this time frame issue where there's this match in August in France, and this is going to take a good year to get set up really well. So we now have to go, right, well, we're gonna put some we're gonna nominate some events that are on. We're gonna try and spread them as far across the country as we can. It's difficult for a bigger event to to actually be a valuable event that rather than like a 4-hour club match. It's got to be a big enough event that we're going to get good representation, and then you're going to be able to qualify in the open division is the one we're going to pursue entirely, and then there are potential to talk further with individuals about the other divisions that are around. So that is coming out in the next week or so. Monado is going to be one of the matches that will qualify, but there will be others, and and if everything goes well, they won't all be PRS matches. That is certainly the intent, that this actually sits bigger than PRS is the goal, and so there will be other matches in Australia. Maybe one this time round, but certainly in future there will be more. There'll be opportunities to qualify within PRS and outside of PRS, and almost, again, the goal is to be able to the ability to qualify wherever you are in Australia, there's going to be the ability to score some points towards that qualification because it's a 2-year qualification or 18 months, and there'll be a whole process with that. But because we don't have the time to get that right this time, there's going to be this sort of this stopgap just so we can at least send some people.
And that's it.
And many other countries have been in that sort of situation where they're just going to send the guys that did really well last year. Just they're the crew that go.
Yep.
We did think about that. Let's just send the guys who've done really well previously. But that previously is 2019.
It's a while ago, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just not quite a good snapshot of who the best shooters are around at the moment. And running maybe 3 matches at a qualifiers is maybe not the best snapshot either now. But it's at least it's a bit more updated than it was. So
yeah, for sure.
That's the position we find ourselves in, and I look forward to where that will mature. But it's going to take a little bit of time, and it's been challenging because we haven't been able to comfortably make plans, knowing that they'll actually come off, and being bitten a bit with PRS sort of
that's it,
getting up and then falling down.
And then
again.
Well, like you said, in this short amount of time that we've got, we really just need to. Yeah, it is difficult.
It is.
Yeah, it's very understandable.
Hopefully, people understand that this, the next sort of couple of months are going to try and get something, so we can actually send some crew over for those who can go, and then over the rest of this year are really more stringent.
Yep.
There's one of the guys involved has dealt with selection for world level competitions in an entirely different sport, and so there'll be a lot of, and that sport happens to be one of the ones that is actually looked at as one of the best examples of selection criteria in the world.
Nice,
which is excellent. So having some input from there is going to be really good to be able to set that up.
Fantastic.
So I look forward to that. Look forward to being able to share more. We will talk that journey through as we go along, and there will be certainly a great opportunity, hopefully sooner rather than later, for those who want to get involved with that organisation to actually be able to jump in and do that. As soon as we can. That's sort of, it's almost a race for us to get to the point where we are in a position where we are up to the members to be able to bail us out or keep us involved or whatever they want. Sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, watch this space. Eh?
Absolutely. So that is good. It's good.
Sweet as.
I thought you were looking at questions there you had, Josh. Just on your
Any
phone,
questions?
No.
Checking things.
Checking things. All right. That's very, very good. Easy. Hey, when's your next shooting adventure, Andy?
My next shooting adventure will be at the club. I don't know when, but the next club day.
Okay. That's a really, really valuable question to ask you then.
Oh, it's on my calendar. I reckon it's going to be the first weekend of next month.
Gotcha. I'm going to be away the first weekend That's next weekend.
Are you
no, it's not.
Mildura?
No.
No?
Oh, no, that's, okay, in terms of the going up for that trip. No, that's the week after. No, next weekend I will be in, I'm going to Queensland and New South Wales
for
a couple of days each for work, for meetings and
fair enough,
appointments and all that. Well, they will be fun because I like the people I get to meet, which is excellent, but it will be hectic.
Eventually we'll be able to shoot a match together.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
One day we'll be able to shoot a match together. When was the last match we shot together? Yeah, like that. Like that.
Yeah. I think it's...
It'll be the Rimfire. There was a Rimfire match we shot
there was
together?
a Rimfire one, yeah. No.
Josh? No, I don't think.
No, I don't think
because you didn't make that one.
No.
Yeah, that's why I did so well. You weren't there to put me on.
That's all right.
That's all right. Very good. Well, I think we wrapped up for this week. We thank you guys for watching. Oh, what?
Apparently Siri wanted to join the conversation.
Oh, okay. Siri's joining in. Oh, this Siri here.
Something went wrong. Please try again.
Title of the podcast.
No.
That sums up my life, really. And on that note, we're out.
We're out.
We're out.